You know that feeling, right? You've got this huge, exciting goal, but you're just totally paralyzed and you have no idea where to even begin. Yeah, that feeling of being overwhelmed, it's universal. But what if the secret to achieving really big things isn't some giant leap, but actually a tiny, tiny step? Let's dive into the power of this surprisingly simple idea. Our culture is all about massive action. You hear it all the time, go big or go home. But honestly, that kind of pressure, it can so easily lead to burnout or even worse, just doing nothing at all because that first step feels way too big. So what if there's a better way? A gentler, more sustainable way? What if the real key to unlocking your potential is through a bunch of small, consistent steps? Well, this powerful philosophy of taking tiny steps actually has a name, Kaizen. It's the art of continuous improvement. And for so many people, it's the perfect antidote to feeling overwhelmed by those big, ambitious goals. So the word Kaizen, it comes from Japan. Kai means change, and Zen means for the better. At its very heart, it's a philosophy built on this really profound idea that small, ongoing, positive changes will inevitably lead to major improvements. This isn't about some radical overnight transformation. It's all about the steady, unstoppable power of taking it one small step at a time. The core principle of Kaizen is just so beautifully simple. Just try to get 1% better every single day. Now, 1% is so small, you'd barely even notice it day to day. But that's the whole point. It's manageable, it's not intimidating, and the effects, they compound in this truly powerful way over time. Now, this isn't just some feel-good philosophy. Nope. The reason that tiny 1% improvement is so effective, well, it actually comes down to real neuroscience. There's a science to small wins, and it explains why your brain is practically hardwired to absolutely love the Kaizen method. See, when you face a massive goal, a part of your brain called the amygdala can kind of freak out and trigger a fear response, that classic fight or flight instinct. This is the very root of why we procrastinate. But a tiny action, like doing just one push-up or writing a single sentence, is so small that it just sneaks right past that fear trigger. You don't get scared, you just get started. And here's where it gets really cool. When you complete that tiny little task, your brain registers it as a success, a win. This releases a small bit of dopamine, that feel-good chemical linked to reward and motivation, and that little reward makes you want to take the next step, creating this awesome positive feedback loop that builds momentum almost on its own. Okay, so the science is super compelling, but how do we actually apply this in our day-to-day lives? Let's take a look at how we can use Kaizen to break down our biggest, most intimidating goals into the tiniest, most manageable habits. This table is a perfect guide. I mean, look at these daunting goals on the left. Now look at the simple Kaizen steps on the right. Thinking of writing a novel? Don't focus on 300 pages. Just write one paragraph today. Want to get fit? Forget the hour-long workout. Just do one single push-up. The whole idea is to shrink the action until it's almost impossible to resist doing it. And this right here, this is the key. You want to make that initial action so laughably easy that your brain doesn't even have a chance to object. It's not about the size of the action itself. It's all about the consistency of just starting. Because once you start, momentum, well, it often takes care of the rest. So we've covered the what, the why, and the how. The only thing left to answer is when. And the best answer is right now. It's time to think about your first tiny step and start your own journey of continuous improvement. So what's it going to be? So let's just quickly recap the essentials. First, remember, Kaizen is all about those small 1% improvements. Second, these tiny wins literally hack your brain's reward system, building this powerful cycle of motivation. Third, the practical key is to break your goals into steps so small you can't say no. And finally, always, always remember that in the long run, consistency will always beat intensity. This entire concept is just perfectly captured in this ancient wisdom from Lao Tzu. Every great accomplishment, every monumental journey, everything ever built, all of it began with one small, simple, single step. So what's the single step you can take today to start your journey? And so I'll just leave you with that. Forget the 1,000-mile journey for a moment. Forget the massive goal way out there on the horizon. The only thing that truly matters right now is this one question. What is your tiny step for today? I hope this explainer has inspired you to find out.